what is humanity and what is divinity? Are those two things different? Does a human being have to do something extraordinary, a feat that will take you to divinity? Is divine an experience which is outside of us? Is there a physical God out there or some kind of divine abode somewhere? These are some of the things that we all struggle with, in which I struggled many years back. But in my 15 years of journey, I have truly understood that humanity and divinity are not something that needs to be even talked about. There is one word to represent humanity, divinity, spirituality, all of these things that we generally talk about, and that one word is reality. When we understand reality, we demystify the divinity. We can break down the miraculous, mystic aspect of spirituality and divinity with the word reality. As human beings, we all live at one level of reality. Yes, there is a world out here, there is physical objects, there is you, me, your body, your mind and thoughts. That is one level of reality which we all are aware. In fact, I'll also tell you, a lot of us are not even aware of that. So we are living in even a reality a little bit below the ordinary reality that we see. People are not aware of their body. People are just abusing the body. People are not even aware that there is something called mind, but just living in a default mode without even being aware of thoughts and emotions and how they think, what kind of thoughts they have, whether they're positive, negative, good, bad, dharmic, adharmic, all these things. People are not even aware of that. So now that is like a really basic reality we are talking about. And then there is a bit of awareness about, okay, I have a body, I have a mind, I have an ability to think, I have an ability to discriminate between right and wrong, I have an ability to perform duties in my life, I have the ability to take care of my body with proper food, nutrition, exercise, sleep and rest. This is one level of reality. Now, there is a further level of reality which most of us are not aware, because that takes a little bit of journey inside, like a doctor who knows what is inside the body, right? They have a different understanding of reality. They know that this body is made up of tissues, organs, and cells. Like with the reality that a layman understands, when something happens to the body, they don't know what's going on, right? So that's why you go to your doctor, and then the doctor will look at you, he will do further studies, he will go a little bit deeper, right, to examine your organs, to examine your tissues, and sometimes using some of these modern technologies of ultrasounds, MRIs, CT scans, to be able to pinpoint and find, oh, there is something wrong at that cellular level, at the tissue level, and find the problem and then fix it. See, doctor understands reality at a different level. Now, similarly, what ancient sages have done is they've gone further down. They've gone more deeper than that physical world that we see, further down below the cellular, below the atomic level, below the subatomic level, and further down. And as they continue to contemplate, where they went into a state where the mind completely kind of silenced in stillness, and then the body is completely still and rest, that is when they got a glimpse of another level of reality. And this is the reality that we are talking about when we talk about spirituality or divinity. And that state of consciousness or reality where there is that complete stillness, but yet in that stillness they were able to experience this profound bliss, profound joy, and also found that being in those states actually impacted the physical well-being and also the mental and emotional well-being. And this is what a lot of ancient sages and saints have done, and the entire yogic wisdom actually talks about this reality, the journey of the self into the self to discover the real self. And that reality is what gives us a glimpse of what we call divinity. When people talk about divine experiences, yes, there is a word for that. But what is the divine? Divine is again that state of calm, serene, blissful state where you're going beyond your body, beyond your mind. And again, I'm not talking about some euphoric state. It is a state which is inherently there, which is very natural to all of us, but yet we are not aware of it. Just like many people who are not aware of their body itself, many people who are not even aware of the mind, and there are some who are aware of body and mind, there are some who are aware of a little bit below the layer of body and mind, and there are some who can go even deeper into this reality. And it's exactly like this. When you look at a computer, right, when you look at your laptop, for example, a regular day-to-day person doesn't really understand the workings of the laptop. All that you know is turn it on, you type something, you look at something, and then you print, right? Or you send an email, or you make a phone call, you go into Zoom or chat or whatever, right? Now, this is one level of interface into the computer, into the laptop, or into your iPad, or whatever device you use. Now, there is the other level which we don't need to understand, but it is there. But when do you care about is when something goes wrong, then you take it to a technician, and the technician will say, oh, wait a second, I got to open this up and see what's going on. Now, that is one level of reality. You see, they're looking at the same thing from a different dimension. Now, even then, like being in technology industry, people who write code and programming, you know that even below that level of like physical, there is an underlying reality which is called an operating system, which helps the computer to start and maintain certain environment where you can run all these programs like your Zoom or Skype or Teams or Google or whatever you're doing, right? So it is exactly the same with our human body. Yes, we have this outer interface, outer parts with which we perform duties. But there is an underlying part which does certain different types of duty and gives you a glimpse of the same thing from a different dimension. For example, a doctor. Now, further down is this layer of consciousness, the layer of complete stillness, the layer of pure vibration of energy, which is what ancients called Atma or soul or spirit or consciousness or Brahman. These are different words for the same experience, the same thing. In fact, they also call this experience as the experience of I. The experience of I without any conditioning, without the conditioning of the mind and thoughts and emotions or the body, is the reality. See, when we all come into this world, we come in with that simple I. When a baby comes into this world, it doesn't know its name, doesn't know its religion, doesn't know its culture, it doesn't have any prescribed food habits, it doesn't even actually know parents around or the relatives or anyone around. How does the baby learn about all these things? Over a period of time, the mind starts to get conditioned. Oh, this is the mother. The mother shows the father and says, this is your father. And then your brother, your sister. So all these are learned experiences for that baby. But that baby came with that empty slate or a blank slate called that pure I. And in fact, if you also observe the world around, you will see that everybody uses the word I. We all use the word I in our day-to-day life. Everybody refers themselves to that I. Did you ever wonder why we do that? We could have used something else for representing each one of us, but we use the word I. That is the most commonly used word in the world. It's of course a single letter word. But it is so powerful because we use that I to represent yourself, to represent someone else represents themselves with that I. Now that I is the reality. To realize that I is the very essence of this journey called spirituality or divinity. When you go back or when you unlearn or unwind all this conditioning that happened to you, what is that conditioning? That I belong to so and so religion, I belong to so and so culture, I only like this, I don't like this. I am a man, I am a woman, I am a doctor, I am an actor. See, we identify with all these things, and this conditioning has made you into a certain person with your likes and dislikes, with your pleasures and with your pains, with your experiences, with your emotions. It defined a certain person, right? Now, the reality is that all these were something that were put over that I. They are like layers which formed over that I over a period of time. The very essence of spirituality or divinity is to go back to that I, to realize that I. So whenever you go to some of these masters, teachers, or gurus, even myself, when I went to Sunita Amma, when she asked me questions in the beginning, I used to have obviously this false, I know everything. I have been into veterinary science, I understand medical science, I have been into computer science, I know that, I have been into filmmaking, I know all these things. So I have defined myself as I am this, I am that. But what I have learned in the process, and this was a revelation actually in the journey, the revelation was to literally unwind myself, to unlearn myself. And the moment I stopped arguing, I stopped going into this judgmental nature about, oh, this is right, this is wrong, and didn't go beyond all these rights and wrongs, all that I know. The moment I dropped and being able to be in that stillness and keep experiencing that stillness, keep experiencing that fullness within, and keep experiencing that oneness. Because when you go into that state of nothingness, you realize that that nothingness is there in you, me, and everyone. It is not that it is unique to me. That emptiness, which is fullness, is there in you and everyone. And this is what ancient sages said, that the spirit or soul or Atma is there in everyone. And realize that the other person is not different from you. When that realization happens, that is when we start to see these saintly, sage-like people who are able to extend that unconditional love, unconditional compassion, and have that empathy towards everyone. And I have been a witness to that through ancient sage Sunita Amma. Because when people come to her, she becomes one with them. That oneness, that unity consciousness is what is the ultimate spiritual or divine experience. It is not that she has brought it out from somewhere. It is there in everyone. And I myself, when I started on this journey 15 years back, I did not know this. And I used to say, oh, I will never be able to reach that. But with dedication, with discipline, with devotion, I started to understand that everyone can reach there. Because today I experience that unity consciousness. My empathy levels have expanded beyond comprehension. That unconditional openness, that compassion, that selflessness, going beyond the blockages and fears and identities. This was a journey that I have taken in the last 15 years, dropping those identities one by one, letting go of who I am or who I was in the past. All of these things have helped me to experience this reality. Now, the question is, once you know that reality, life actually becomes beautiful. It is not that you're going to become into some kind of abnormal human being with some kind of horns or some extra organs that you have developed. You will start to operate in this world in a beautiful way. In a beautiful way where you are having that perfect balance or equilibrium. That is the benefit of knowing the reality, realizing that reality. Once you understand everything is transitionary, you will start to understand that this body is not permanent. You will understand that these emotions of happiness and sadness, pain and pleasure are not permanent either. You will understand that people around you are also not permanent. You will understand that everything is constantly changing. You will understand that you need to just flow with the change. You will understand that your mind is the biggest culprit. creating all these vices. You will understand that you need to clean these vices on a day-to-day basis, making sure that your mind is clean and pure. You will understand that you need to take care of this body by giving it good nutritious food, good rest, and you will also understand that you have to live in harmony with yourself, with the nature around, and with the people around. That is the outcome of reality. That is the reason we all need to understand the underlying reality, because it will help you to operate in the same world at a different level with a different understanding and develop a state of consciousness where you become available to the entire humanity and giving yourself selflessly by doing service and seva to everyone that you run into in this world. So, to summarize, we have understood that divinity, spirituality, humanity, so much of confusion. Forget about all that. There is only one that you need to know, and that is reality. Keep questioning, is this real? Is this permanent? Is this real? Is this permanent? The one that is not permanent is unreal. The one that is permanent is real. The one that is changing cannot be real, right? The one that is changeless is real. The one that is fearless is real. The one that is eternal is real. Because one day this body will perish. One day this mind will also perish. When this life force leaves this, and it will go back into that state of nothingness. And again the cycle continues. So when you know the reality, what happens ultimately is that you liberate yourself from this cycle of birth and death. This is what ancient wisdom says. That liberation from that suffering. Nobody wants suffering, but yet we all go through some level of suffering or the other. To break that cycle of suffering, one needs to understand the reality. Similarly, right, when your laptop is not working fine, you need to understand the underlying reality so that you can stop the problem at the source. Doctor, same thing, he does the same. When you go to a doctor, he will say there is some cancer somewhere in the root. We have to clean it, we have to eliminate it, we have to treat it. Similarly, the suffering of humanity is not knowing that reality. So once you know the reality, there is no more suffering. All that there is health, happiness, and harmony. Okay, so let's do a small session of meditation again. Just sit back, relax. Keep that smile. Never forget that smile. We know that's the very essence of Sukshma, right? Simple breathing, breathing and smiling. Subtle breathing and subtle smiling is the very essence of Sukshma. Sukshma is the reality. Again, what is Sukshma? Is that subtle. What is that subtle? Is that state of nothingness, emptiness, but filled with fullness. That is what we are trying to attain through this Sukshma meditation. Okay, so sit back again, relax. Take deep breaths. Just relax your shoulders. If you feel tightness in your shoulders, always make sure there is no tension front to back, back to front. Rounding off your neck to release any tension from your neck. Keep breathing, keep smiling, clockwise, anti-clockwise, please. And draw that infinity sign with your chin. That infinity sign with your chin like this. It will help you release all that subconscious clutters. And anti-clockwise too. Okay? And simple tapping. Simple tapping is a very good exercise. It will bring your attention to your body. It will bring awareness to your body. Chop, chop, chop. Release any tension. Punch, punch, punch. Chop, chop, chop. Punch, punch, punch. Rub, rub, rub. When you rub your body and stimulate like this, you're moving your circulatory and your lymphatic system. Very good exercise. And it will bring attention to you. And if you feel any little bit of turmoil or stress, you want to just blow it out, do this simple breathing exercise. So see, take a nice deep breath in the center and then blow it out. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. So, up, down, right, left, north, south, east, west. Let's do one more time. If you want, you can also add one more breathing exercise today. That one is munching the air balls. So you suck the air with your mouth and you breathe out from your nostrils. See this. See, you're munching the air and blowing it out from your nostrils. One more time. Excellent. So now just relax, sit back, keep your eyes closed, bring that smile, pay attention to your breath, nice deep inhalations and exhalations. Just like the waves of the ocean. Now start to spread that smile from top of your head, back of your head, neck, shoulders, arms, palms, tip of your fingers. Every cell in your body is receiving that smile. Back to your shoulders, between your shoulder blades, your backbone, spinal cord, all the nerves coming out of spinal cord. Spread that smile. Pay attention. Going further down towards your lower back, hips, knees. All your attention is on your right foot. Place 5 candles on your right toes. Light them up one by one, starting with the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth, and the last little toe. Five beautiful flames on your right foot, spreading that light. Absorb that light with your smile. Move your attention to your left foot. Place 5 candles on your 5 toes of your left foot. Light them all up. starting with the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the last little toe. 5 beautiful flames on your left foot, spreading that light towards you. Absorb that light. Both the beams of light from your left and right foot are meeting at your navel, point, going inside your tummy, and the light is spreading to your entire organs in your tummy. All the cells in your organs are filled with that light, and you smile. Slowly your attention is moving to your heart. Paying attention, going deeper into your heart. Spread that smile and light into your heart, please. Consciously, you're spreading that light and smile into your heart. Stay there for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, how much ever you want. If any thoughts come and bother you, just gently tell them, hey, I'm busy right now with myself, I'll get back to you later. And come back to your smile and to your heart. Going deeper and deeper inside. Staying in the present moment. Moment to moment to moment to moment. Just taking each moment at a time. No rush. No anxiety. You're just here. In the now. In the now. In the now. Your whole body is relaxed. Your mind is completely calm and serene now. It is becoming still. Only stillness inside. No distractions in a physical level, mental level, and emotional level. Just one-pointedness. You are experiencing perfect equilibrium inside. You are enjoying that nothingness, but filled with fullness of energy. Relax, my dear friends, relax. You can stay in this state how much ever you want. Thank you. Namaste. And be in this underlying reality of stillness, fullness, and oneness.